Eat these 5 carbs and watch fat disappear. What is the best carbohydrate source for a weight loss diet? We'll get there, but first, let me explain something. Our channel is the simplest in the world, but the information we share is highly proven to be effective. Our commitment is to give you straightforward tips that are helping me lose weight, and they'll help you too. Subscribe so you only get content that really makes a difference in your weight loss journey. We know that when we're trying to lose body fat, we need to create a caloric deficit, right? And a caloric deficit automatically means a reduction in calorie intake, which can lead to what? Hunger. We know that individuals who are overweight often need to improve their insulin sensitivity, and that's where low glycemic index carbs come in. They are more efficient. On top of that, we also need foods that are nutritious, because it's not just about calories or the glycemic index. We need foods that provide important micronutrients to make up for the deficits caused by the calorie reduction. 5th place, apple and pear. But aren't fruits rich in fructose? No. Fruits are not rich in fructose, and they provide a good amount of micronutrients, right? They also contain pectin, which is great for our health. These fruits can be very helpful for breakfast, especially since some people have difficulty eating heavier foods in the morning, like chicken or potatoes. You can start by eating an apple or a pear. They also work great for a mid-morning snack, something practical. But doesn't every meal need to have protein? Not necessarily, as long as your diet hits the macro targets by the end of the day. So, you can include an apple or a pear, both of which have a low glycemic index, specifically around 38, right? Low glycemic index, nutritious, low energy density, meaning that to consume the same calories as, for example, rice, you'd have to eat a lot more apples. And by eating more, you'll feel fuller. So, I've eliminated all the negative factors of a low-calorie diet. 4th place, lentils. Now we're going even lower on the glycemic index, increasing satiety, and adding a fibrous, wonderful food with complex carbs, starch, that's not widely used in diets. It's an excellent carbohydrate, provides huge satiety, and is great for cutting. I'm talking about lentils. This legume has a glycemic index of 38, like apples, but it provides more satiety because it has more fiber than apples. You can use it in your cutting phase. It's excellent, easy to prepare, about 20 or 30 minutes on high heat, and it's pleasantly ready to eat. It'll give you good satiety, providing gradual carbohydrate release, and it's also rich in micronutrients. So, number 4, lentils. Use it in your cutting phase, test it out, it's fantastic. 3rd place, black beans. Let's lower the glycemic index even more. We're at 30 now. Just to give you an idea, sugar has a glycemic index of 100, and here we have a food that's 3 times less than sugar in terms of glycemic response, black beans. But what about brown beans? No, brown beans have a higher glycemic index. Black beans have a much lower glycemic index. It's a typical Brazilian food. Black beans work on the same principle as lentils, but their glycemic index is lower, and they're also richer in protein. So, they are an excellent carbohydrate. The only slight drawback is the cooking time, as they take longer to prepare. The suggestion is to make a large batch, portion it into bags or containers, and freeze it, no problem. You can defrost 1 portion per day. You can prepare enough for a week, 2 weeks, or the whole month. Beans last a long time in the freezer. 2nd place, carrots. Glycemic index of 16. We've dropped from the already low 30 of black beans to 16. This food provides great satiety and is rich in fiber. As if the low glycemic index wasn't enough, its energy density is even lower. We know that 100 grams of beans have a good calorie content, but those are good calories that provide satiety. Now, this food, in addition to having a low glycemic index, has a low energy value, meaning a low glycemic load. This food is carrots. We often use carrots as a seasoning in everyday dishes like rice, but you can also eat them on their own. With a glycemic index of 16, they'll give you an incredible level of satiety. You can eat a lot of carrots because instead of 100 grams of rice, you can now have 200 grams of carrots, which have a very low glycemic index and in larger quantities provide the same energy value. So, try using carrots in your cutting diet and let me know how it works out for you. First place, broccoli. This food ranks as the top carbohydrate for cutting. Its glycemic index is 20, extremely low. Remember that black beans were one of the lowest at 30, and now we're down to 20, which is incredibly low. Its energy density is also low, meaning it barely has any calories. So, you can eat a huge amount of it without any issues. It's a low glycemic carbohydrate, high in fiber, low in energy density, low in glycemic load, and it contains indole 3-carbinol, along with other amazing micronutrients. That's why it's ranked as the top food for cutting. You can eat a lot of it, it's very healthy, great for your digestion, amazing. Did you enjoy this video? If so, drop a comment below and let us know what's your favorite carb source for cutting. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for the next video.